Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and this video is dedicated to Trevor Max, who asked me a question after watching my video on the Safaricom Neon Ray Pro. If you'd like to watch that video, the link will be in the description down below. So let's get to the question. Trevor asked me to give him some of the compatible games that he can play on the Safaricom Neon Ray Pro. Before I answer this question, I remember back in high school, my teacher always told me that before I answer any question, I should first analyze it in order to understand it so that I can be in the best position in order to give out the best answer. So let's analyze this question together. Some of the compatible games that one can play in the Safaricom Neon Ray Pro. So there are two parts in this question. The first part is some of the compatible games. By compatible, I think that Trevor means that he wants games that can run really well on his phone without the games affecting much of the phone's performance, and the game should also not lag or give out any errors while running. And the second part of the question is the Safaricom Neon Ray Pro. He is specific to that mobile phone brand, like the Safaricom Neon Ray Pro. And from this, I can deduce that he's most probably using a Safaricom Neon Ray Pro, and that he'd like a recommendation of the games that he can play on the phone. So, Trevor, one thing that you should know about downloading games or any app from the Play Store is you should really consider the phone storage, the internal storage. And this is so because when you download any game or any app from the Play Store or anywhere else on the internet, it is usually downloaded straight into the phone's internal storage. Like that's where the location of the app will be, the internal storage. You cannot move it from the internal storage to the SD card if you have one. So yeah, there's that. You should really consider that. This is important, especially for a phone such as Safaricom Neon Ray Pro, because if I can remember very well, Safaricom Neon Ray Pro has an internal storage of only 8 GB or something. So if you want a good game to run on the phone, the Safaricom Neon Ray Pro, the game should not take up too much space. Like remember, you only have about around 8 GB, and even so, this 8 GB includes system apps such as the call, the settings, camera, or things like that. So, factually speaking, you only have about 7 GB that you can use. Yeah. So, if you like a good game to run on the phone, the game should not take up too much space because of this. Like, let's say games such as the original Injustice Gods Among Us. Injustice takes up around 1.2 GB or something. So, if you like to download Injustice on the Safaricom Neon Ray Pro, you actually can, but the problem is you'll have around 5 GB remaining, and what's the use of that? So, if you like to download the game on the Safaricom Neon Ray Pro, the game should not take up too much space. Like, I think from 0 to 900 MB is a good game that can run on the phone. But since it will not take up too much space and it's not over 1 GB, so that's something you should consider. Another thing you should consider is the amount of battery power that it consumes. And this is usually projected by the amount of space that is needed in order to run the game. Yeah. So those two factors, the phone's internal storage, and the battery consumption of the app or the game will usually determine how the game will run on your phone. So in this instance, we are actually looking at the Safaricom Neon Ray Pro, and as I've said, the Safaricom Neon Ray Pro only has an internal storage of 8 GB. So you should work with your mind that, okay, I have this phone, it only has an internal storage of 8 GB, and the usable storage is only around 7 GB, since we are excluding the system apps, which are vital in order for the phone to run. Yeah. So some of the games that I can think of that I used to play actually when I had the phone are games such as the original Dream League Soccer, like the very first one, the original, not this the less 23, 22. Even though yes they can run, but it will somehow it will, if you download the latest versions of the Dream League Soccer, it will somehow affect the phone's performance. It will take up too much battery. So the very original Dream League Soccer, that's one of the games that I can recommend to you. Candy Crush, um, Subway Surfers, the offline games majorly, the offline games which do not take up too much space, Hill Climb Racing, um, Angry Birds, yeah, games such as those which do not take up too much space and do not consume a lot of power when running. Yeah, that's it. Trevor, I hope that you somehow gotten an idea of the games that you play. So here's basically the list of the games that I can think of as right now: the original Dream League Soccer, Subway Surfers, Temple Run, Angry Birds, Hill Climb Racing. Um, there is also Sniper, a Lone Wolf Story. Yeah, basically just the offline games which do not require uh, huge processing power in order to run, and the ones that do not have like very big graphics or things like that will require a lot of processing power. Yeah, that's it, Trevor. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your recommendation. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. We are 200 subscribers as of now. So thank you guys so much. Peace.